This is the news in details. The National Assembly on Thursday passed the 2025 Appropriation Bill of 54.99 trillion naira, allocating 14.32 trillion naira for debt servicing and 13.64 trillion naira for recurrent expenditure covering salaries, overheads, and government operations. Economists and members of the organized private sector commended the government for the budget, but expressed reservations regarding how it would be funded. They praised it as necessary for economic growth, but decried the cost of financing and how it posed the risk of heightened inflation. The budget was passed following the concurrence of the bill by the Senate and House of Representatives during their separate plenary. The lawmakers approved 23.96 trillion naira for capital projects under the development fund aimed at infrastructure growth and economic expansion, while 344.85 billion naira was allocated to the National Assembly. The initial proposal of 54.2 trillion naira was increased by 700 billion naira by the House and Senate committees on appropriations. This was a sequel to the adoption of the report of the Committee of Supply in both chambers of National Assembly. The Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, announced the budget passage after most senators supported it through voice vote. The senators supported the budget passage after reviewing a report by the chairman of the Senate Committee on Appropriations, Adiola Olamlekan. Olamlekan, while presenting the report, recommended that 3.6 trillion naira be approved for statutory transfers, 14.3 trillion naira for debt service, 23.9 trillion naira for capital expenditures, and 13.8 trillion naira for fiscal deficit. This increase comes about a week after President Bola Tinubu requested an upward budget revision by 4.5 trillion naira and increased it from its initial proposal of 49.7 trillion naira to 54.2 trillion naira. This news was sourced from the Punch newspaper. 54.99 trillion naira budget. Expert list funding hurdles as debt servicing takes 14 trillion naira. Meanwhile, the People's Democratic Party is facing deepening internal strife as key figures challenge the authority of party leadership. In Abuja on Thursday, the embattled National Secretary Samuel Anyanwu defied directives from governors, the Board of Trustees, and National Working Committee to vacate its position for Sunday Ude Okoye. In the South-South, the zonal secretary of the party, Chief Felix Umemu, rejected a planned zonal executive meeting in Oyo State called by Chief Dan Obi. Obi, alongside some other aggrieved leaders of the party in Oyo State, had worked for the victory of Governor Monday Okpebholo, dumping the party's candidate in the election, Asu Ighodalo. The party leaders are expected to be in Benin City, the Oyo State capital, on Saturday, February 15, for a meeting of the PDP South-South Zonal Executive Committee, but Umemu said the proposed meeting was illegal. Anyanwu resumed at National PDP Secretariat at the Wadata Plaza, Abuja, and continued his duties. In a video call with the spokesman of the Federal Capital Territory Minister, Liri Olayinka, Olayinka posted a video on his verified X handle at Olayinka Liri around noon on Thursday. The embattled secretary, showing Olayinka his office during the call, said, "You can see them jumping over the fence. That was how I stayed in my office to catch them through the CCTV." In the National Working Committee, a section led by National Publicity Secretary Debo Ologunagba and National Legal Advisor Kamadin Ajibade, announced that in line with the position of the party's Governors Forum and the Board of Trustees, the National Working Committees, are taking steps to recognize Ude Okoye as the National Secretary. The report, however, said the acting National Chairman, Umar Damagum, did not support the move. For more details, please visit the Nation newspaper. PDP crisis, South-South leaders oppose Benin meeting. National Working Committee split over Anyanwu. In the meantime, ahead of Saturday's Katsina State local government election, the State Police Command has announced the restriction of human and vehicular movement from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. of the same day within the state. The command's public relations officer, DSP Abubakar Sadiq, in a statement made available to newsmen late Thursday, said the measure was aimed at maintaining law and order before, during, and after the poll. He said in the light of upcoming local government elections, which is scheduled to take place on Saturday, February 15, 2025, there will be restrictions on the movement of individuals and vehicles from 6 p.m. to within the state. He further called the eligible voters to come out and participate in the election and exercise their civic responsibility in a peaceful and orderly manner. Why? Helian, the chairman, Katsina State Independent Electoral Commission, Lawala Lazan, told reporters at a press briefing on Thursday that the commission has commenced the distribution of sensitive electrical materials to all the 34 local government areas of the state. He said the commission will start the distribution of especially far-reaching local government areas for early access, as well as to avoid late arrival of materials. This news was sourced from the Punch newspaper. Katsina local government poll. Police restricts movement as INEC begins distribution of sensitive materials. In another development, robbers armed with dangerous weapons reportedly attacked residents of Imo Street by African Road in Calabar Thursday night, leaving some wounded. This was a few hours after Governor Basi Hotu had warned armed robbers and other criminals in Calabar and other parts of the state that it was ready for them with the launch of a security outfit called Operation Awkwak. The governor had even donated 30 vehicles to strengthen security activities in the state. One of the victims of the house-to-house robbery is a HND student of College of Health Technology, Calabar, studying environmental health sciences, Mrs. Alice Dixon. Alice narrated that they arrived in the night, well armed. They used LV irons to hit our doors and pushed the front door down, launching the Operation Awkward security outfit. Governor Hotu had reaffirmed his administration's commitment to security and the state. The outfit is to replace the Operation Apaku, which its predecessor, Professor Ben Ayade, instituted. A statement by Mr. Gil Nazar, Chief Press Secretary to Governor Otto, said this marks the first phase of larger plan to deploy a total of 100 vehicles to enhance security operations across the state. The statement said Governor Hotu emphasized his administration's zero tolerance to crime. According to Hotu, Cross River State is safer than ever. The state's security advisor, Major General Opoyi Ubu Obono, retired, in his remarks, described the initiative as a milestone in the state fight against crime. He explained the significance of the new name, Operation Awkward, and heavy word for B. He noted that several security formations had received operational vehicles in recent weeks, reinforcing the administration's commitment to safety. This news was sourced from the Le Post newspaper. Armed robbers divide Governor Otu's new security outfit, launch house-to-house attacks. To the last news on newspaper review this morning. Southwest governors have risen in unison to secure the region and prevent the infiltration of fleeing bandits and terrorists into their towns and villages. Because of the heat under which the military has put bandits and terrorists in the northwest, some of them who escaped the attacks are heading south. In recent months, there have been reports of bandits being discovered in southwest forest, especially in Nundo and Ekiti, which share a boundary with Kogi State. The northern part of Oyo State has also reported the movement of suspected terrorists. Yesterday, the 6 governors in the geopolitical zone were hosted to a meeting at Alausa Ikeja. They resolved to commence joint surveillance and give backing to Amotekun with shared intelligence and the use of technology. All the governors, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, Lagos State, Seyi Makinde, Oyo State Governor, Dapo Abiodun, Ogun State, Ademola Adeleke, Osun State, Biodun Ibanji, Ekiti, and Lucky Aiyedatiwa, Ondo State attended the meeting. The forum has agreed to establish a joint surveillance and maintaining teams to enhance security across the southwest. The deployment of technology is a follow-up to the intense anti-terrorism activities which each of the states embarked upon in the wake of the threat of bandits' infiltration into the zone. It was learnt that the issue of security of lives and property and food security dominated the meeting. Members of the development agenda for Western Nigerian were at the meeting to brief the governors on their activities in all sectors, including agriculture, industrialization, and empowerment. Each of the governors, it was also learned, spoke on efforts in the provision of food to prevent price hikes and reduce inflation. On food security, the governors resolved to develop food hubs in all 6 states. This news was sourced from the Nation newspaper. Southwest governors join forces to ward off ISWAP bandits. To bring the newspaper review to a close this morning, here is a recap of headlines. PDP crisis, South leaders oppose Benin meeting. National Working Committee split over Ayanwu. 59.99 trillion naira budget. Expert list funding hurdles as debt servicing takes 14 trillion naira. Katsina local government poll. Police restricts movement as INEC begins distribution of sensitive materials. Armed robbers divide Governor Otu's new security outfit. Launch house-to-house attacks. Southwest governors join forces to ward off ISWAP bandits. And with that, we've come to the end of newspaper review. Thank you very much for listening. You can download Carnival Media app from Google Play Store and App iOS. You can also check out our website at www.carnivalmedia.ng. My name remains Joseph Hoyokola. As today is a Valentine, of course, we are in the season of love. Please do ensure you show love to someone today. Make them happy, make them laugh. Happy Valentine.
On the air, everywhere. This is
Carnival Radio.
of your favorite songs. Right now, right here. The music never stops.
Carnival Radio.
Your